Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be sharing some information with you today to enhance your toolkit for empowering parents and caregivers. I'm Dr. Jennifer Salerno, a nurse practitioner and translational researcher in youth risk and prevention. So I'm going to jump right in since we have a limited amount of time and really start with what are we hearing from parents? When we're working with parents as all kinds of different professionals, what we're hearing from them typically is that they find it challenging to have meaningful conversations once their children start becoming teens. They find themselves often like talking past each other or getting in arguments very easily. Sometimes they feel like they're not even speaking the same language, depending on, different words that teens are using. And they really worry about their teen and want to establish that stronger connection in order to be the person that their teen comes to when they're having any type of issues or concerns. When you look at what's happening in the US, around the country, really a focus has been on youth mental health, obviously, but really the role of parents and how parents can be that protective factor when youth are experiencing some mental health symptoms. When we look at the data, what that shows us is that 1 in 10 teens don't identify a trusted adult in their life. And when you break it down, look at those teens a little closer, those are the teens that are more likely to use substances, have unprotected sex, and then 300% are 3 times more likely to report depression and have thoughts of suicide. So it really does impact lots of different risks and risk factors that they may be experiencing. So how do we partner with parents? That's a key piece and can be very difficult. There's a lot of factors in the parent-teen relationship that we know have been associated with positive teen health. So how do we support that and enhance those factors? So when we look at positive teen health, the parental factors we see are parental warmth, parent-teen communication, which we're going to talk more about with Teen Speak, time spent together, feeling cohesive or that their relationship is fulfilling, and having parents be involved, knowing what's happening with their teens, where their teens are, not overly involved, but having that level of involvement that really shows their teen that they care and want to know what's going on with them. When you look at the research again, even with children that have had early hardships, when they become teens, having that supportive, safe, stable, like nurturing relationship leads those teens to more positive outcomes. So it's a super, super important key protective factor. So how do we overcome those barriers to parent engagement? And we know what those are, whether that is in an office setting, in a community-based setting, if we're trying to just engage parents one-on-one, there's time limitations, work conflicts. If we're looking to engage parents in like workshops or skill building, sometimes there's childcare issues, maybe a lack of awareness of the need, or really understanding what the options are to build skills in parents. When parents are new, they have new babies, they're looking for lots of skill building, understanding what's happening with their baby. When those babies become teens, it's a lot harder to find that piece, and it's more stigmatizing to ask for help when your teens are parents than when they're newborns or babies. So we need to try to overcome some of those. So how do we do that? That's really the role of some of the resources that we've developed with Teen Speak. They really help support parents to feel more equipped, more confident when they're talking with their teen through challenging situations all the way to like every day, getting your homework done or your room picked up. Really trying to nurture that parent-teen connectedness as a protective factor and meeting parents where they are by providing evidence-based options and education and skill building that really fits their needs. So they can come and go into it utilizing technology, lots of different ways that we've come to do that. So thinking about the parent influence, One last time, looking at kind of a broad range of studies, family closeness and attachment leads to less drug use, delayed sexual experiences, less depressive feelings leading to suicide, and teens that trust and confide in their caregivers more. And as a parent, that's really what we want. We want them to trust us and confide in us so that we can help them kind of talk through and think through how they might respond to different situations. So ultimately, the goal of TeenSpeak is to support those family connections as that protective factor. It offers professionals trusted resources that then you can feel confident sharing with parents. That was one of the big reasons why we started developing some of the TeenSpeak resources. It's very hard to help parents in different strategies and very specific ideas for establishing that communication and that relationship with their teen. There's not a lot of resources that are available to do that. Really, what we've done is translated motivational interviewing strategies and theories from use as a professional to really being utilized as a parent. And how do we take some of those initial or basic level strategies and translate them into easy to use strategies for parents when they're communicating daily with their teen and also in those challenging situations. Really helps parents then talk with their teens to reduce risk and build stronger relationships. So what kind of resources do we have to enhance that parent support? We've developed a parent survey that includes brief interventions and resources. So if you're familiar with some of the youth screening tools that we've developed, these are screening tools that then are accompanied by some brief interventions and resources specific to the needs identified within those tools. So I'll share a little bit about the parent survey. Then we have online courses, one that's more of a skill building course and another that's a micro learning course, kind of an introduction, taking some of the key strategies that significantly change communication between parents and teens that we hear back from parents right away that are like, oh, this was so great. We've kind of pulled those out and put them into a micro learning course. Then we have an interactive workshop and additional resources that you could share with parents. So Adam is the technology that we utilize for all of the different screening tools that we offer, including the parent survey. So the TeenSpeak parent survey is broken into 5 sections, and there's 2 questions per section to help parents understand or think about what concerns they have for their teen around common risk factors. So it might be substance use, mental health, sexual health risk factors, maybe school, academics, that kind of thing. So 2 questions around that. Then we're asking parents about their teen's strengths. So we're focusing first on, risks they might be concerned about, then on what strengths do their teens have that might help them overcome some risky situations or feel more self-worth to overcome those. Then we're asking about confidence and communicating with their teen, feelings of family cohesiveness or togetherness. And then lastly, comfort in engaging with their teen in those challenging situations. Maybe talking about finding a beer bottle in the back of the car or something that would make parents feel a little bit anxious and concerned for their teen. So this is the look and feel of the screening. Parents will see one question at a time. There's images of diverse parents and youth throughout each of the questions, throughout the screening. They have an audio that they can listen to the text on the screen as well. And when they complete the screening, they see the brief interventions. And these are also based on motivational interviewing framework. So they see a reflection of what they shared, then a menu of options or try these tips to help them either feel more comfortable, increase the cohesiveness, each of those 5 areas, feel more equipped to have a discussion around a risky situation. Then we provide an affirmation and resources. So these are parent resources around each of those content areas to help them feel more equipped. And then at the very top, I'll share a little bit about the green button. That's the micro-learning. So we have kind of combined screening and the micro-learning opportunity in some of the screening resources that are available. The next piece is really those TeenSpeak courses. So we have 2 online courses. The first one includes 7 interactive self-guided skill building modules that help parents feel more confident in learning new skills, trying out those new skills. It includes some information around teen development and those accompanied like physical, emotional, social changes, just to help parents feel a little more equipped to know kind of what's going to happen through puberty is what they would kind of associate that with, and understand that some of those changes and some of those outbursts are really normal part of their teen's development through this time period. So it just helps with some of the empathy and understanding. Then they learn the building blocks for maintaining that relationship, those communication strategies, those kind of first level motivational interviewing strategies. So it takes parents about 3 to 4 hours to complete this course, and it has some outcomes around really improving those skills and strategies. Parents feel more equipped and confident, therefore they're utilizing the strategies more often as well. The next is the micro-learning. I mentioned a little bit about that. So the micro-learning is really taking the pieces from the full course that parents feel like make an immediate difference when they start using a particular strategy. So we've pulled those in to really get them engaged and start thinking about their communication, start using some new strategies. That is pulling those into this, what we call micro-learning. So if parents had just 5 minutes a day, it would take them about a week. So it's about a 35 to 40 minutes to complete this micro-learning. And each of the online courses, parents can start, come in and out. It saves the place that they were at. There are lots of scenarios, worksheets, different ways that parents are building skills. Both online courses are done more in a podcasty kind of way. So it's more like videos, or you could just listen to it. And then there are kind of those follow-up pieces, some tips for implementing some of the new strategies and or discussion starters at the end of each one of those modules. Like I mentioned, we put together the parent screening and the micro-learning into one kind of bundle. So parents would receive kind of a text, introductory text with the survey link that can be sent out through schools. They can complete it as they're waiting in like a waiting area. If their teen is being seen like for a healthcare visit or mental health visit, then parents have the opportunity to complete the screening and then receive those brief interventions. And the green link at the top, they can click into the micro-learning and start looking at some of that information. Then we also offer an in-person TeenSpeak workshop. So myself, along with my daughter, who is a young adult and a 4th grade teacher, host that workshop. We come to you. It's a live, like very interactive, fun 2-hour workshop for parents and their teens. So we do some work together in the beginning. We split. So I talk with parents and talk through strategies, and then Jordan talks with the teens or tweens and works through some strategies. That way we come back together and share and practice some of the things that we've been working on separately. And then parents have access to the micro-learning for 4 weeks after the workshop in case they want to go back in, really spend some time in some of the strategies that we would have worked on in person. And then we have other resources. We have a how-to guide with a companion workbook. I know a lot of agencies utilize that in working one-on-one with parents and or provide that as an option if parents are looking for resources. We have what we call a 3-in-1 bundle. So with that, parents can download some information around teen development, some tips for talking with their teen, and just responding to normal teen behaviors that can be frustrating for us parents sometimes. And as I've been talking through different resources and sharing information, Leah's been putting information links into the chat. If you want to click on those links, save them, take a deeper look into any of the resources that I've shared here. So I know this was a quick kind of introduction, just a little bit of background. We all know how important parents are in really helping teens thrive and stay safe as they're navigating their way through the teen years. So I'm hoping that you have seen some things today, you've learned some things. If you have questions, definitely reach out by email. We can schedule a more detailed call if you're interested in any of the resources that I shared. The online courses can be licensed by an agency and then links sent out to parents, whether that's like all parents in your practice, in your school, if it's very specific to parents of teens or tweens that you're working with individually. There's lots of different ways that you can utilize the resources so that at home, you're building those protective factors and strengthening those relationships. And then in your practice, you're working with that teen and those families on individual specific needs. We also have a very active Instagram and Facebook that has a lot of resources for parents, a lot of opportunities to download different tip sheets and things like that if you wanted to share that with parents. But a lot of this information is also on our website, and you can go to that website that you see here to find out more.